Welcome back, everybody. So, slightly different video, okay? So this should be the start of a small little mini-series that me and Richard have decided to do called The Myths and Legends of Wiltshire. I live in Wiltshire, I was born in Wiltshire, and I generally like myths and legends, okay? I love the stories behind them. Whether they're true or not, it doesn't make any difference to me in any way, shape or form. I just want to share these stories with you, and if it goes well, I'll go on to the next county, like Somerset or Hampshire, so on and so on and so on. So without any further ado, let's get started. So I have started with Sailsbury and Old Sarum and the new city. So let's go. So the foundation of the new city of Salisbury is based on a legend. The story has it that an archer based at Old Sarum decided where to build the city by shooting an arrow down into the valley. The modern day cathedral is situated around 2 miles south of Old Sarum. There are many different theories on how an arrow could reach that far, but the most common heard story is that the archer shot a deer, and where the deer landed is where the modern day cathedral stands right now. Now, generally, I do love this story a lot, okay? And there are different theories on this story. The one where he shoots a deer and where the deer landed or died is the most believable theory in my opinion, because firing an arrow from Old Sarum, knowing that I've been there, into Salisbury, it is a huge, huge distance. But generally, I do love this story because if this is how Salisbury come about, how they decided to build Salisbury, I just generally love the story. I think it's really, really cool. And it's just, I love, like I said at the beginning, I just love these kinds of stories. Number 2, the card cheat. The Haunch of Venison, a pub on Minster Street, has a interesting display held within this historic pub. Legend has it that one of the locals cheated at cards. His hands with cards can now be seen within the pub. It's kind of a vague story, okay? I've had the luxury of actually investigating this pub many, many years ago, about 4 or 5 years ago. Very, very old, very, very creepy in the dark, okay? Paranormal wise, didn't really get much in this establishment when we investigated. Now, whether these hands and cards are on display, I cannot honestly tell you, because when I was there, I just cannot remember ever seeing that. I'm not saying they're not there, it's just that when I was actually investigating there, I do not remember seeing this display. It might mean just because I was more interested in investigating, and I didn't actually know this story actually when I went to go and investigate. All I knew is very, very old. It was apparently supposed to be haunted. So I had to go and investigate. But yeah, even still, it wouldn't surprise me back all those hundreds of years ago that a card cheat would have his hands chopped off. It wouldn't surprise me in any way, shape, or form. It is a believable story, but whether these hands are on display, I cannot honestly say. Through personal experience, I'm not saying they're not there, okay? All I'm saying is that when I was there, I do not remember seeing them, and I haven't returned back to the Haunch of Venison since I've done that investigation, which was about 4 or 5 years ago. 3. Ghosts. Now, there are many different ghost stories that come out of Salisbury, but whenever I go looking for these ghost stories, this story is always pretty much near the top. So Pusey has had quite a few famous residents, including the Duke of Buckingham, who was beheaded outside the now Debenhams store, which is a big clothing chain here in the UK. And apparently you can see this headless apparition looking for his head. Now, the problem over here is where it's a big clothing store. Trying to get access to investigate this building is actually really, really difficult, to the point where I haven't heard of any team being able or got any access to actually investigate this building. That being said, inside the building as well as outside the building, there have been reports of seeing this headless apparition looking for his head. And when I say there have been reports, there has been a consistent run over many years of seeing this apparition. It's a really cool story. I don't know the ins and outs of why he got beheaded. I'm sure it's out there online. But I just generally think it's a really cool story, and I would generally love to investigate that place just to see if there is actually an apparition there. But if you ever want to come to Salisbury just for the ghost side of it, they do put on regular tours during the summer, and I do believe they do one during Halloween as well. But if you don't want to just come for the ghosts, you just want to come for the history, you've got Sailsbury Cathedral, which has got the Magna Carta in it. You've got Old Sarum, Stonehenge is pretty close by. Avebury is down the road a little bit more, but you know, Salisbury is steeped in history, okay, and it's an absolutely lovely place, especially Salisbury Cathedral, in the summer around the grounds. It's actually a lovely place. Like I said, lots of history within that building, and I highly recommend anybody to come and visit that place. I really, really do. So, there we go. That's the first episode of Myths and Legends of Wiltshire. I really do hope you enjoyed this video. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel and give the video a like. Like I said, there will be more videos like this. I'm going to try and do a video a week on Myths and Legends of Wiltshire. Or Richard. It's going to be either me or Richard, whichever. I've just basically started it off, and hopefully Richard will do the next one for you, so on and so on and so on. So on that note, I hope everybody has a great rest of the day, whatever you're doing. Please take care, and goodbye.